Welcome to the Wrestlingus Show. I'm your host, Raj Cav Manning, along with Faust Dwayne on the couch.
Hey.
And it is August 7th, 2012. I gotta tell you, black TV shows rule.
Yeah, they do.
Yeah! Alright, let's just go right to the meat twitcher right away. No lag in here. She's hot as hell, and everyone knows it as well as her. Meat twitcher of the week.
Rock the cradle of love. Rock the cradle of love. Yes, the cradle of love.
Alright, there's your meat twitcher of the week. Eve comes up, and finally, someone with two other than AJ Lee. We should probably write Lee on there now since she changed the whole name thing. She has three, but now Eve is coming up. We have to thank everybody on Twitter because the hashtag MeatTwitcher and then voting worked. Eve won by a landslide. It wasn't even close this week. So, pen please. Cap off. So, give Eve another one. So she's catching up. AJ, you better get those suits off and let's do something. Otherwise, you're in big trouble. So let's get this show, and we got the WWE review for you next. Raw this week. Another 3-hour show, as always.
The second 3 hour. You know, we usually get those sporadic 3 hours, and now we get two in a row.
I wonder if we'll every once in a while now get a 4 as their special. Or they'll probably just keep it the same.
Yeah.
Even though we got a longer show, we're still getting guys that are in the ring when the commercial is on. And you know they're going to job out. It's like Christian Star has fallen now because he's in the ring waiting. So, but I noticed, is it just me or was this the first time the new intro came on?
Yes, it was. We didn't get it last week because of the pyro problems.
That's what I thought.
Because it would be kind of weird to have the intro and then no pyro. Mm-hmm. Maybe that's why they saved it.
Yeah. I see your mom got to you. No more beer?
Well, it's Pepsi.
Pepsi? I joined the revolution as well. Diet Cherry Pepsi. You go for the regular Pepsi because you don't care about your waist.
Well, it's Pepsi, but let's just say CM Punk wouldn't be drinking. What else is in here?
Very good. So, first thing I notice on Raw when Cena comes to the ring with AJ Lee in the ring is I think Cena's trying to bone.
Yes, he is.
He tries to slip things in there. And they're Back to the Future references. As if people don't know, Punk and Cena have a thing about who could get in the Back to the Future references in. So Punk fires in the Gray Sports Almanac, and without missing a beat, Cena thinks he comes in with one, but he says the Miami Gators, and as you all know that are fans of the 80s like us, it's the Miami Snakes.
Wait, isn't it the Sharks?
No. How dare you? You were below it. It was a snake with a bat.
Shit, you know what threw me off?
You think Jaws 3D?
Jesus Christ.
As I said last week, to be my co-host, please write into us. I can't believe you're sitting there like, oh, Cena's an asshole. And you're the one. Exactly. Jesus. Blew it. So, then we had Del Rio with his nice car, which all I think about is, because you know it, they rent the cars and everything from somebody else, is, do the people watch this show and go, oh my God, what have you done to my car?
Well, yeah, I'm sure they tell them ahead of time. Like,
but
look, this
nonetheless,
is what
it's got to make you sick. Yeah. And it's like, I don't care if you're detailing it or not. It's covered with shit. And I'd be freaking out, you know? Yeah. And another thing I noticed when they say, oh, you're up next and you have a match.
Right.
He's trying to hurry up. He comes out wearing his little panties and his boots and everything like that. But he's still got on his jacket and shirt. So you're telling me he's taking his pants off and putting that on and never took off the easiest part of that he has to do. He's wearing a jacket and panties on still. So I found that odd. Wade Barrett is on a way back. Yeah. So they started with his promos.
I liked it.
I said, oh, okay, Tyler Durden's going to show up,
exactly.
And it's a Fight Club gimmick.
We're not supposed to talk about it.
Yeah, so I guess we're not talking about that. Orton must have been reading everybody's tweets, because the Mohawk, the tweets, all of a sudden, now he has no more Mohawk. Yeah. So that was a new thing. Ryback coming out there doing his still 2-on-1s.
Yeah, against Hawkins and
Rex.
His name? Rex again.
And it's... I think his eye's going to fall out. He had the bloodshot eye first. Now it's pink eye. He's modern day Cartman with this pink eye going on.
Yeah, isn't that shit contagious?
It is.
Oh, I wouldn't want to be in the ring.
I don't know what. That's another reason not to be in the ring with him. But I notice that every week, and it's like painful because I'm like, something's wrong with his eye. They need to, but I figure if something's wrong with, obviously he's cleared to wrestle, so he'll be fine. Sandow with this mean streak.
I like it.
It's not very Lanny Poffo-ish with the mean streak, but I'm thinking, do you think Brodus needs knee surgery, and that's what they're trying to do because he's been attacked on that same knee constantly? Maybe. So it's like now we could get Poffo, we can get him over, and have him go out with a knee surgery.
Yeah, and it's good too because it's two guys that didn't have a feud before. Now they're finally getting a feud. I mean, Brodus had that little Big Show. We saw how well that went.
Yeah,
you know?
Yeah, but I enjoy Sandow. I really do.
Great. I love him coming out holding the mic like a
glass of wine. Very debonair. He's saving us all. Yes. Kelly came back, and the hair extensions bother me.
Yeah.
And it was funny because I was reading Twitter and someone said the exact same thing when I was writing down about hair extensions, that I can't stand the hair extensions. Yeah. But did you notice how she won the match?
What was the final movie?
It was the real stink face. Go to the clip. So that is what I call the real stink face right there.
Sorry, Rikishi.
Yes, that other stink face isn't real. That's the real stink face.
I wouldn't mind.
And I volunteer, exactly. Volunteering rules. Yeah. As I was saying before, he tweets during the show as I get off later, and I thank you. So I'm writing down notes for the show. HBK comes out. I write down a note about HBK after the show's over because if I start looking at tweets, it's spoiled for me, and I know what's going to happen. I write down awful T-shirt by HBK. I look at your Twitter. It says the exact same thing. Great idea, but awful T-shirt.
Fucking ugly.
It is. They could have done it so much better.
Like they threw it together yesterday.
I mean, the top of the ring has nothing on it. It's his name, I think. It's not even his name.
I think it says Mr. HOF.
I think it says Mr. in the middle of the ring.
Yeah,
then around it says... That's bad, guys. Come on. You had a good concept. Just because he's going to be there, he could be there the next week. I mean...
Well, it's in San Antonio.
But still, you could do it the next time he's out there, for God's sake. And my thought about him being in the corner of Triple H, this is how Triple H is going to lose.
By Shawn?
I think it'll be an accident.
Yeah.
I think Shawn's going to go to super kick Brock and level him, but they're setting it up to where Triple H can't lose, which freaks me out.
Yeah.
It's a different person now. He can't, and then it's like, okay, now he's going to lose.
Yeah.
So you have to have him lose in a bullshit manner. So you cannot have him win this match.
No.
He can't win this.
Just bring back Brock just to keep losing.
And then it will blow the whole Undertaker and Brock thing, which we're already assuming is going to happen. He's
going to have no steam going into Mania. It's like, who cares?
Yeah. We had Y2J talking on commentary while Ziggler was in there. And shockingly, actually, Ziggler loses to Alex.
Yeah.
And
that was great because he was touting.
He was touting it during it, screaming at the camera. Very taut of him. But I noticed, I don't know if you noticed, I didn't want to say earlier to see if you did notice this. You know how he calls Cole Mitchell?
Right.
Did you hear what he called Alex Riley? And I think it was a mistake.
I don't think I caught it.
He called him Alex Wright. My head spun off. I turned to... And then later he started calling him A-Rye or something. Yeah. So I was like, I think he messed up and actually called him by the wrong thing. I'm still waiting for this new championship belt that we're told is going to come.
Punk promised us.
It's killing me. It's really killing me. I'm dying to see this new belt, and I hope it doesn't. I hope it's not bad.
So is Chris Cavalier. I know he was crying about it, episode 1.
Yeah, he was crying about it. I mean, we haven't seen him.
All of a sudden, he gets thrown in our opening bit. We haven't seen him on here in, 8 weeks?
Listen, we needed another person in that bit, so Chris had to come back for a little while. You know, he's not as handsome as me because he wears a hat.
Yeah.
So that's the big difference. He wore a
tank top.
He wore a hat and a tank top. I dress nice.
Gimmick.
That's some gimmick over there. That's a modern day Superman wearing glasses. I think Daniel Bryan.
Oh God, he's so good.
He is so good and he is so over. He has this crowd. Whatever he wants this crowd to do, he can make them do.
He's got it right here.
Right in the palm with everyone's doing the yes. And then I think people started doing the no a little bit. So he flipped it and said, I'm going to make you say yes.
Yeah. I love how he came out for his match and he looks around first And then he goes into the no, pointing down.
Yeah, doing the
God,
downward
so
instead of the
fucking
upward.
funny.
He's so good, and then getting in everyone's face, and he kind of measures out who will be good to do it with so they don't blow it. And
So you went in front of the guys that work at Foot Locker, right there.
yes, the Foot Locker crew who just got out, they did there. And the crowd with the Cena sucks, and let's go Cena. I hate all of them. I hate all of you with blood pouring from my face. I've said it 100 times, and I might have to tell Chris to do a segment about crying about this because all the guy does is bust his ass for this company, and it's the same shit where if somebody is over and he gets pushed too much, everyone shits. If they flip him bad, you watch. Everyone will love him again.
Everyone will be on his balls.
Everyone will be licking his ass. So it's like, you know what? You don't know what you have until it's gone because when he got hurt before, God forbid. And then he came back at the Rumble and everyone blew a wad. Yeah, but we're actually fans. We actually like the guy, which we'll be showing a clip in another show where I'm sitting on the ramp and he pointed at me. Thank you. Now, who wants to touch me? Cena pointed at me. Thank you. Now, we had the main event being with Cena and Daniel Bryan, of course. And then,
good match, too.
Yes, and we had Big Show showing up and we had Punk showing up. And so now it's Big Show gets over on everybody this week. Last week it was Punk. So next week we'll have Cena get over, and then it sets up SummerSlam for the next time.
Right.
That, I believe, is your WWE Rewind for the week.
I believe so.
Remember When this week is not a joyous one, but like we said, we weren't going to do mess-ups every week or just goofy things. We could even do great title changes or just cool stuff that ever happened, this and that. This week is a sad one. This is from May 23rd, 99.
God, I can't believe it's been that long.
And it was in Kansas City. This is the date Owen Hart fell and died in the middle of the ring. And the clip we're going to show you is not them just showing the crowd and JR talking, all that. This is his good friend is up next in a match, Jeff Jarrett with Deborah, and they say, all right, now it's your... And apparently, after the promo, he was wheeled past them. That's why it took them, if you watch the tape, a while to come out. The music was playing for a while, and then he comes out, and she's got to be hot and smiling. And I mean, my God, what a... And I watched the match, and very professional.
Yeah.
I mean, he went through the match. You really can't tell that it's a disaster of, what's going on in his head. I don't know how you function. But Jeff Jarrett held it together. He was very professional. But this is the promo they did from that date where Deborah starts in, not in character, and Jeff, I think Jeff is almost going to crack, and he's like, F this, shut the hell up, autopilots himself, and just goes through it. So here's the promo from that date at, of all names of pay-per-views for this, Over the Edge. So, you remember when?
Jeff and Deborah, I know your mind's probably on other things right now, but the question, of course, is, how are things going to go in this mixed tag team match tonight?
Well, if you want to talk about chances, I tell you one thing. My daddy should tell me one thing about chances, and he'd say, "Sweetie,
Deborah, shut up. Let's talk about business. First off, Owen Hart, I'm praying for you, buddy.
I am too.
Val Venus, you've been chasing these puppies around. Well, pal, I got news for you. Those are my puppies, and they always have been. But if you want to take, for old time's sake, another smash hit, well, come on, pal. You just tell your Amazon partner to stay out of the way, because I have no qualms about hitting a he-she when she's bigger than me. Damn it, Deborah, let's go. Owen, you're not players, man.
Owen, we love you."
TNA this week.
Or Impact?
TNA Impact this week. A couple things went down of note that I noticed. It started off with a tag team match right from the get-go, which is their strength, usually their tag teams. And it bothers me when they have the tweets coming in. And the one thing I noticed was, I mean, for one part you say, okay, they don't care about noticing the other league. They're not doing that fake, we don't know about them. Because one of the ends of the tweet said, yes, yes, yes.
I know which tweet you're talking about, and if you looked closely at that person's avatar, the
Yeah.
picture, they were holding a Divas title.
Oh, boy.
And then the very next tweet, I can't remember what it said, but the avatar was actually a picture of John Cena.
Oh, wow.
And so I'm like,
yeah, I don't know if that's...
I don't know if that's Spike TV doing the Twitter for it's
It can't
TNA.
be them.
I don't know, because they said send your tweets
It's like
to
a huge
Spike,
no-no.
you know, so like,
You know what? That might be fixed this next week. If we never see anything like that again, then we know. And I would assume those people that do send the tweets go, this will never get on the air because of my avatar and all that kind of stuff. Bully Ray wrestling Robbie E was bizarre because Robbie's beating him the whole time.
Yeah.
And did you notice how Bully Ray pretty much won the match? With chops.
Oh.
He chopped him,
Yeah, that's
and
right.
then Diamond Cutter.
Stiff-ass chops. Yeah, and then it was...
And that was it.
Yeah.
He chopped him 4 times, did the 3D to him by himself,
Yeah.
and he pinned him. I said, oh, well, that's some match. Kill yourself here.
Hey,
The
fact that Robbie's even in this tournament is stupid anyway.
Well, who had the horrible tournament last year, and now they're good this year? Maybe they'll do the same.
Joe?
I think it was. Joe was horrible
Joe's
or
always
something.
going for the submissions now. Though.
Yeah. Side notes, Tara has horrible music. And
As it she always... Go back to, which episode was it?
yeah, of our cringe of the week, pretty much, our rewind.
Our douche chill of the week.
Yeah, the douche chill of the week we did where she was dancing out there. That was awful too. But broken. That's horrific anyway. And I love Madison Rain music. I download it on my iTunes and I sit there with it and I make my ears bleed. I love it so much. It's so great. And speaking of music, Brooke and Sting in the back, always with the artsy. They're talking and it's very intense, and there's drama music playing. I thought My One Life to Live came back, but no luck for me.
Did it remind you of the NFL a couple years ago when they tried to add in
God.
drama music?
Maybe we should have NFL Lingus and talk about that too, where
That's
they had
another story.
Yeah, they had the nice NFL music in the background. That was horrible. Chavo debuted. So anyway, Wes Briscoe. What do you have to say about the Chavo? Exactly. Okay. And they didn't keep that same music that I liked.
Yeah.
So they ruined that for me. Thanks, guys. You guys finally got some good music in TNA. That's always their problem. Their music is not even close to what WWE's music is.
The production, yeah.
So Wes Briscoe, who used to be in the FCW, is now over there.
Former
And
WWE developmental talent.
I'm surprised they didn't keep him around just because of his father. You know, it's stuff like that.
So he shows up backstage for whatever.
Yeah. Yeah, so I guess it's
Hey guys.
okay, you know, here's our new guy coming in. So I love that the crowd is all over Claire with the "You Can't Act" chant. So it wasn't just us who were like, okay, and they're just on her. And if they do not bring up this cigarette in her hand, that is the biggest dropped ball in the history of the world here.
Give it a couple more weeks. They're going somewhere with this.
I'm telling you, because we tweet them this show, that if they didn't have it in mind, they will. Because all they got to hear is us crying about it and say, we better bring this up, because it's very obviously when she showed up, she has that cigarette in her hand for a while, hanging out of the car. And, I mean, that's got to be the start of the story about that she's faking it.
Yeah.
Not like, oh, you're faking it, you have a cigarette, but it could start the ball rolling. And she's turned into a witch. And the funny thing is, she hated these guys.
Oh, yeah.
They threw her a baby shower, and she's in love with them, and how great they are. And
you know, I cringed when I first saw they were having a baby shower. I'm like, oh, this is going to be horrible.
Yeah.
But I actually thought
There was some
funny
funny
funny. The little stuffed animal with the jacket on.
yeah, the baby, and
had him
whipping his arms open, and then throwing
pull
his
the hood up. That was pretty good.
Yeah.
Funny.
The match, the whole night ended with the match of Angle and Storm, which was an excellent match. I was riveted the whole time watching that, and it ended clean, which was the shock to me. I like the whole fact that all the locker room gets together to go out there to say F you to Aces and Eights.
Right.
And make sure they didn't interfere in the match. But it kind of grew false at the end because nothing did happen.
You're waiting for them, and it's like, all right, where are they? Where are they? And you're kind of like, okay.
It was like, okay, the match was good.
You're looking at the time. There's only a couple minutes left.
I thought the bad part about it was you were on your edge waiting for nonsense to happen, so you couldn't even almost enjoy the match happening.
Yeah, that's
It
true,
distracted you from the actual match, but
and then nothing happened.
and then they start fighting each other,
Yeah.
and Angle still keeps a lookout.
Well,
So
there was 5 of them, so he was the odd man.
yeah, so I'm thinking if they were coming, Angle would have said, "Okay, guys, stop fighting. Now we can all fight them." And so they're all punched out and half dead. So then they could have got rushed in the ring, which is goofy anyway. But nothing too much really happened on TNA, I don't think, this week.
No, the only other thing I laughed at was Joseph Parks in the back saying, "Don't K-Fab me."
Don't K-Fab, yes. That's always good stuff. Another part I like, too, is when Madison Rayne said, "Earl would never screw anyone in a match. He's professional." That was a good one. I give it to him. Wink, wink. So, TNA report of the week.
Or the Impact review of the week.
Either way you want to do it, that's your review.
That's tidy 6 minutes.
Or should we, I guess I should throw it to the news. That's what we do.
Oh, yeah.
Right. Now, for all the comings and goings and all the rumors in the news, let's go to Leland Yao at the news desk. I'll see him over there. Thanks for your input this week, Faust.
I'll see you next week.
See you there, guys.
Good afternoon. I'm Leland Yao, and this is the news. Cat Manning, as always, thank you for joining me.
Glad to be here.
All right, I'd like to start off by talking about ICP's pay-per-view this weekend, JCW Wrestling, Bloody Mania. God, that's fucking horrible.
I know it's not. I want to start off.
Yeah,
it's
like, all right.
it's just this week's.
Yeah.
This week, the Insane Clown Posse's Federation JCW is having an event called Bloody Mania. It'll be held at blah 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 on this date.
Yeah. I got you.
I'll put it over to a little bit too.
Okay. All right.
I go, this is fucking awful. Oh, you mean those guys who wouldn't let us play their song in the fight?
It's just terrible. It's just terrible. All right. Good afternoon. I'm Leland Yao, and this is the news. Kev Manning, thank you for joining me as usual.
Glad to be here.
All right. This Sunday night at 7 p.m., Insane Clown Posse is hosting a pay-per-view called Bloody Mania. It will be broadcast live at the Gathering of the Juggalos. And it is only $14.99 to order this internet pay-per-view.
You know, I've seen a couple of their shows. It's pretty funny. The commentary is the best on their pay-per-views. Who's in the card this time?
Actually, even if you're not a fan of the ICP or, you'd probably want to check out this card because they got names such as Carlito, Chris Masters, Bobby Lashley, X-Pac, Eugene, Zach Gowen, Madman Pondo, Necro Butcher, Rock and Roll Express, the Headbangers.
They seem to do a lot of stuff differently, too.
There's a 3-way match. John Morrison versus Hurricane Helms versus Matt Hardy. Vampiro versus Colt Cabanas. Old School Steve Corino. So they're bringing in a lot of names. Also, Scott Steiner and Vader are supposed to be there. And Ric Flair will also be there, too.
Wow.
Obviously not wrestling, but he's going to make an appearance. So
No kidding.
even if you're not a fan...
They went all out.
Like I said, you don't have to be a fan of the ICP or their music or whatever, but...
Where do you catch it?
You can go to juggalowrestling.com.
Very good.
All right, so big news came out Sunday night about Rosa Mendes. I'm sure you've heard about it already. It was on TMZ. It was blowing up Twitter and the internet.
Unfortunately, I heard about it before this point. Usually I try to not hear anything before you say it so I get my first reaction. Mm-hmm. But I did hear about it.
Apparently it's big news. If you heard about it, you couldn't avoid it.
I couldn't avoid it because we follow not Dave Meltzer on Twitter. And excellent tweets by him. I give him that free plug because they are great tweets. And he actually said it. So I thought it was fake at first because he's always gotten like nonsense.
For those of you that don't know, Rosa Mendes, she was found in San Antonio Airport Sunday night. She was crying in a bathroom stall hysterically. When they came to find out what happened, apparently she was beat up by her boyfriend, Jackson Andrews. Well, he used to wrestle as Jackson Andrews back in...
Tyson Kidd's manager for 4 seconds.
Exactly.
It was a fake Diesel. That's what pretty much people were saying. It was a poor man's Diesel.
Yeah.
Big guy with cowboy boots and a tank top.
So she filed a domestic abuse charge, and the cops took pictures of her. I guess she had a bunch of bruises and scratches. Apparently she got beat up, allegedly. before she got on the plane and flew to San Antonio for Raw. Obviously, she didn't appear on Raw. You saw the colognes are on there, but
yeah,
they didn't.
Pretty much
she was
second colognes.
Yeah, she wasn't there, but interesting to note, she was pretty drunk when they found her too.
Oh.
I mean, shoot, if you just got beat up, maybe I would drown in my sorrows.
Yeah,
on the
she's
plane,
probably
too.
drinking on the plane. But I'm like, what is she? She had taken a flight already, and then she got to the airport bathroom, and she's on the ground crying, and it didn't just happen 2 seconds ago.
You would have thought she would have been crying getting onto the plane, or even on the plane.
It was like a cry grenade. It took 8 seconds, and then it went off.
Yeah. So I guess she's been on and off with this guy for a while. They were engaged, and she told the police he's a wife beater or a domestic abuser, I guess you would say. And,
it's poison relationship. One of those poisons.
She
Can't get
fears
away from
for
each
her
other.
life that eventually one day he's going to kill her. So you may want to get away.
Yeah,
from
you
that
may
guy.
want to get out of there,
And
Rosie.
hopefully that's just not the alcohol talking either.
Yeah, let's see. Like all these relationships, it's like it's a soda machine. You can't knock it over in one push. You got to rock it around a little bit before it finally falls over. Maybe she'll get out of there now. Wish her the best of luck getting out.
Now, last night on Raw was Shawn Michaels' Appreciation Night in San Antonio. Bet you didn't know this because they didn't really talk about it on TV. Now, if you were one of the lucky people that were actually in attendance last night, let me tell you what happened when Raw went off the air last night. Okay, so as you know, Cena and Punk, they got beat up by Big Show. They were laid out. So, camera's off, Raw's off the air. Cena gets up, refs help him up, and he goes, grabs the mic. He goes, yeah, I know I'm beat up, but you know what? This is San Antonio. This is Shawn Michaels' hometown. Let's get Shawn Michaels out here.
I love they got to keep it still like it's real a little bit instead of just popping back up and go, okay, cameras are off, let's go.
So I guess they rolled a clip with a lot of current superstars,
Was it Tell Me a Lie what they were playing? The video?
That was Bret Hart, wasn't it?
No, Tell Me a Lie was Shawn leaving because of the smile deal.
What was the video they did for?
Was it Look at Me Mama, I'm Making Some Noise by Tom Petty? Because I got that.
Christ,
I got that
phenomenal
CD.
knowledge.
Thank you. I know everything with this stuff.
So they show a video package of current superstars, putting over Shawn, and they showed a career retrospective. And then Shawn comes down to the ring, and then CM Punk gets up, and
he finally gets up after.
Yeah, I guess he
was
finally gets
unconscious
up,
for a while.
grabs the mic and apologizes. Says, "I'm sorry, I'm probably going to get in trouble for this." But he tells a quick story about
K5?
how,
Okay.
when he was 15 years old, he got Shawn's autograph, and he carried it around in his wallet, all the time. So then he left. And then Shawn was going to start talking, and here comes Triple H. Triple H comes down to the ring, and he started, making some jokes. I guess from the reports, it was like Triple H was starting to get choked up, but instead of crying, he started just cracking jokes.
About his hair or something like that?
Probably,
Yeah.
So he was putting
I'm
Shawn
crying
over.
like Shawn was about his hair or something?
Yeah. So he was
See that
putting him
coming.
over. So he was putting him over, and then Shawn goes to talk again, and hey, wait a minute, here comes Vince. Vince comes strutting to the ring, and apparently Vince didn't hold back. He was crying. Like they said, he was crying, and his voice was quivering. He was telling Shawn, I feel like a father figure to you, and I've always loved you as a son. And apparently Vince got really, really emotional. So, and then I guess
say that's why you fired me the first time?
So I guess Vince's way of trying to break up the status, he threw in his own little joke. He says, "Will you take that stupid hat off?"
That cowboy hat. You notice Shawn does take it off, though, I think, to show people he's not bald yet.
Yeah.
Because if you wear that thing every time you see you, and then the next time you don't wear it after years of only wearing it, and then it's a drastic, whoa, what happened, instead of gradually, okay, you don't even notice.
So then Vince introduces the locker room. They come out, I guess, to the ramp, just to pay homage to Shawn. And Shawn was going to get ready to talk again, and boom, here comes The Undertaker.
Wow.
Undertaker comes down to the ring and apparently tried to stay in gimmick with his speech. And to sum it up, he basically said, of his top 5 matches he's had in his career, 3 of them are against Shawn, and the other 2 are against Triple H.
No kidding. Wow.
Yeah. So then I guess Undertaker broke character, and he even told a couple jokes too. So we got to search YouTube. Maybe we can find this.
Yeah,
on there.
hopefully someone busts it out their phone.
So
That's the kind of stuff. It's like, come on.
Why isn't this on TV?
Hopefully it'll be on like the best of Raw DVD at the end of the year or something.
Cool.
That'd be good because I guarantee that's what would sell because that's not one of those things you could really find on YouTube a bootleg. I mean, it would be garbage when you find it. So
Vince says, we got one more guy who would like to come down here and sing your praises. Any guesses who you think it was?
Flair.
Big Johnny. John Laurinaitis.
My God.
Comes down to the ring and eats a super kick.
Oh, that's fabulous. That's great.
And then,
that's a good.
I guess Triple H helped him up. Boom, eats another super kick.
Oh, another super kick.
And then Triple H grabbed the mic, thanked everybody for coming out. Everybody leaves, and then Johnny gets up and eats yet another super kick. And then Triple H, HBK, and the Taker, I guess they all pose in the ring for pictures. For the lucky people at attendance at San Antonio for the Raw taping last night.
Yeah, you know what?
The lucky bastards.
I say Shawn is the greatest of all time. I don't care what they say, arguably. No, I don't think there is an argument. You watch all his matches, they are edge-of-the-seat matches on those big ones, especially WrestleMania, like they say, Mr. WrestleMania. No joke.
Mr. WrestleMania, and this is Wrestlingus show, and that's what's going down.
All right, that's the end of the show. We want to just plug the Curtain Jerks for their podcast they do every week about wrestling, and you can follow them at Curtain Jerks. And who else are we going to plug there?
Roxer. Tell us about that cartoon you found.
Yes, you can go to indiegogo.com/Roxer and check out this cool new cartoon that has MMA style stuff with superhero action involved. So that's the show this week. Hope you enjoyed the opening as much as we enjoyed doing it. And I had to call a paramedic because I was going to have a heart attack. I was laughing so bad. So we want to leave you while the credits are going. Check out our boy Rerun Tito doing a little something. Enjoy the credits, folks.
See you guys next week. Hey, we made it through 10 shows, too.
Hey, how about that? 10 shows. Follow us at Wrestlingus Show. See you next week.
Yeah.